Hi, and welcome back. It's Angelo Caruso. This is the Leader in You playlist here on YouTube. Last time we were together, we talked about time management, and in this episode, which is episode 4, we're going to talk about the value of being able to change the rules wherever you're doing leadership, wherever you're in charge of people. It's been said that life is a game, the only game where you spend all of the game learning how to play the game. The same is true for leadership. But when I think about people who have really made a difference in leadership, people like Steve Jobs, for example, these are people who operate morally, ethically, and legally, and yet still find a way to change the rules of how the game is played, and in some cases, upend an entire industry, like Steve Jobs. I think about the character Billy Beane, not a character, he's a real person, in the Moneyball saga. You know, the famous book by Michael Lewis, where Billy Beane introduces statistics and metrics to baseball that had never been considered before. And people mocked him and how he managed the Oakland A's back in the day. And now almost everybody is using these strange statistics. Strange, no more, right? So I think leaders are not only they're not only able to change the rules, they're obligated to change the rules to keep things competitive, to keep things interesting for the team and for customers. And speed is of the essence. You've got to do this first. You know, the 17th team to use statistics in baseball to manage differently, they didn't have an advantage. The first team to do it, the Oakland Athletics, had a big advantage. I know that almost everybody remembers the first person to travel solo, to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. Everybody knows it was Charles Linbergh, but nobody remembers the second person to do this. And it's because he was the second person. It was Bert Hinckler. You can send him a card if you want. So when you're first and you change the rules and you do it in a way that's not taking advantage of anybody morally, legally, or ethically, I think you're doing the right thing by your team. There are books being written about this. This is Rebel Talent by Francesca Gino. And of course, as we get ready to wrap up this segment, I'm thinking about Joni Mitchell, who was a fantastic artist. She's retired now, but Joni Mitchell came up through the folk circuit. She eventually crossed over into pop and then into jazz and blues. And she was amazing. And for most of her career, Joni didn't have a record producer. You can check the credits. There's no record producer listed on nearly any of her albums. It was Joni pulling the strings from behind. And this is the kind of rule breaking that can set you apart from the rest of the, in this case, female songwriter competition. So we want you to not do anything illegal. We want you to not offend anybody. We want you to be good to people. And yet we want you to think about ways that you can change the rules or maybe reinterpret the rules so that you can make a difference at your company, in your industry, with your team, and with your customers. We hope you're enjoying this playlist. If you are, please subscribe and please comment down below. And of course, I'll see you on the next series, which is episode number 5, when we're going to talk about what to do if your team is not talented. We'll see you there.